We continue to visit with the candidates running for office, and in studio with me to discuss her campaign for Texas 19, DeRenda Warren. Welcome back.
Good morning.
Thanks for coming in today.
Yeah, it's going to be a great day out here in West Texas.
Yeah, it's going to be very nice, and that means I guess you get to do a little more block walking or meeting with the voters out there, right?
We are, because we're starting to see the tulips and daisies starting to sprout through. I guess they're getting confused.
Well, how's the campaign trail gone for you?
You know, it's been overwhelmingly wonderful to us. I mean, it's given us a great opportunity to get out in the rural area and meet some people that I would have never been able to otherwise, and it's just been a great, great experience for me. It truly has.
What are the things that they are saying to you, the voters out there? What's important to them? What's on top of their minds?
Well, of course, they're all concerned right now of our cottonseed. You know, they're wanting to see if we can get that as a commodity, and some of them are very discouraged, but I told them, I said, keep faith. I said, because, you know, if somebody tells me I can't get something done, that's just like turning the ignition on. I'm going to uncover every rock and explore every area I can, and then I can come back and say, look, you know, it was not doable, or, hey, this is where I found the money to get this rocking and rolling.
When it comes to ag issues, is that something that you think has been lacking in Washington and maybe from the current representative?
Yes, I feel like the farmers have been left on that back burner, and somebody's got to be the champion for them. And, you know, it goes back to the 6 farmers that asked me to get on this ballot. Ms. Warren, we know you understand ag. You know, get up there and be our champion. Get up there and have our voice and try to help us, because we know that you're the solution person, and you're going to keep digging. You're going to find a solution for it.
What are some of the, let's say you win the election, you get to go to Washington. What are the, I guess, first 3 things that you would like to do?
The first 3 things I would like to do, of course, are my agriculture. Get on that extremely fast. Second, border. You know, the border patrol, the border, and our, you know, making sure we're safe and making sure we're supporting those men and women that are down there, you know, trying to protect us. And then healthcare. It's huge, you know, from geriatrics to my veterans and pediatrics. It's huge.
Well, let's talk about border security here for a little bit. What is, if the next president came to you and said, what are your plans? What are your ideas for border security? What would you tell that president?
I would tell them that we need to get rid of executive orders that have been handed down from Obama. You know, those need to go. We need to start enforcing our laws that are on the books. I would like to present some legislation that allows us to put a fee or tax, whatever you want, on money being transferred back down to Old Mexico, because that could bring in a lot of money for us to help our Border Patrol. It truly can. I've had several people approach me and go, man, that is a great idea, Ms. Warren.
What do you do as far as, and this is always a debate, you know,
Right.
building a wall, putting more technology. What do you do on the border?
I feel like we need more technology and we need more boots on the ground. Talking to the people on the border. I mean, my oldest son is Border Patrol, and I've gone down and talked to those men and women. That's their idea. This is, and really, truly, before you would put any big program into a force, you want to talk to the people that are on that front line. Tell me how you feel we can help support you and take care of you down here. And that's what they're saying.
After we secure the border, which
Right.
is a long process, it's not going to happen overnight, not going to happen in a couple of years.
No,
but
it's going to take a while.
Yeah, it's a long process. What happens at that point with immigration control? You know, you hear some candidates, even in this race, but also in the presidential race, who say, well, if you're here illegally, you need to go back. We need to send you back. Other candidates, other plans say, well, if you're here illegally but you haven't broken any other laws, we want you to stay, but you need to go through a process. So what is your plan on that front?
Well, we just need to enforce our laws. I mean, I'm a nurse, and that's, you know, I don't make all the rules and regulations that apply to health care, but guess what? I have to enforce them. And that being a congresswoman, that's the exact same thing that I see there, that I have to enforce the laws that are that the United States has for our immigration. Yes, it would probably mean people are going to have to go back. That's the law, and that's the reason those laws are there. So we're going to have to enforce them.
So you're in favor of deporting 11 million?
I am.
Or however many
we get.
How does the United States do that?
Well, we have to go in and look at who is here, and we've lost track, I can tell you, of a lot of people. But eventually those people come into a healthcare situation, or they're in a police situation. I mean, there's ways to find out where they're at and what they're doing, and then just we're going to have to get them back, Use our ICE and Border Patrol and get them back where they belong.
Visiting with DeRenda Warren, candidate for Texas 19. If you have a question, feel free to dial in 770-5790. To those who criticize that, because there are people who say there's no way we can send back 11, 12, 15 million, however many million people are here illegally.
Well, I don't think we're going to send a huge lump sum all at one time, but eventually we have to start. We have to start somewhere.
Right.
Because we can't just keep handing out all this free stuff. I need things for my veterans. I need stuff to help my Social Security and Medicare people. I need money to take care of them.
What kind of you mentioned veterans, and
yes.
This is a subject that I know came up obviously at the VFW
yes.
Forum that they held, but really in some of these other forums, there haven't been many questions on veteran issues. So talk to us a little bit about your ideas for veterans issues.
I know a lot of people have said we're going to have to look to find money, but I don't see that we need money. I see that we need to reallocate money within the system to set up acute care clinics. I see that that's already in the works, but now it needs to be streamlined and it needs to be perfected. And that's my expertise, going in and making sure that people are taken care of and that we've got appropriate health care set up for our veterans to go to for acute care needs, and that's what we're lacking right now. Personally, my husband called just the other day. He had 102 temp 4 weeks before he could get in.
Wow. And should there be and this has been an idea that's been kicked around, a card where you can go, where a veteran could go to any hospital that's out there instead of just waiting to go to the VA?
That when you throw something out there like that, that truly tells me you don't understand healthcare, because healthcare is set up. Everybody's contracted with somebody, and guess what? Our physicians are businessmen, and then they have a choice whether to contract with it. And it's been evident on the Medicare side. I mean, people that I've known and take care of, they reach Medicare age, and guess what? Their doctor doesn't contract with Medicare, so now they're having to find another physician. So it's not an all easy solution. If we give them a card, that doesn't mean people are going to take care of them.
Mm-hmm. Visiting with DeRenda Warren. We'll take the break. When we come back, we will continue with DeRenda Warren and her campaign for Texas 19. All right, Chad Hasty Show, News Talk 790 KFYO. We're in studio with DeRenda Warren, candidate for Texas 19. If you have a question, feel free to dial in 770-5790, toll free 1-800-687-0790. You bring up healthcare quite a bit, and obviously you're in the healthcare industry,
right?
So you've dealt a lot with healthcare. What is your plan as far as not only repealing Obamacare? I'm assuming you're in favor of repealing Obamacare, but what do we do after that? What's the ideal healthcare prescription for America, I guess is the way to say.
Well, it'll be a flip between whether we dismantle it or whether we just appeal it and start all over. But either way, we've got to get it tailored to individual needs, and that's the problem that we're seeing right now, because that's what jacked up those prices on the premiums and deductibles, because it was a all-inclusive all-inclusive health care plan. So we've got to tailor it to the needs of the people. We've got to make sure, our pediatrics, our young families, our middle-aged, and as they grow older, we've got to make sure that they fit into those health care plans, and they're not paying for something that they don't need. I really see it going back out to the insurance companies, but again, all of us have to be at the table this time because we need input from every player that's going to be impacted by that legislation, or if we can come together as a team outside and hopefully and make a great healthcare plan that we can take care of people. I mean, that's our profession. We want to take care of people.
Is there anything with Obamacare that is good to carry over?
I have talked to my type 1 diabetics. They can stay on their family's insurance till they're 25, but then when they're 26, they're having to find their own insurance. Well, I guarantee you, in the old way we had it before, those patients would not be able to have health care insurance. And so when you look at a chronic patient, somebody that's going to have insulin and be monitored on a close basis, yes, this has been a godsend for them, because otherwise they wouldn't have any kind of health insurance.
So you don't think it's too late if we get a Republican president? Hopefully we will get a Republican president.
Yeah, we're praying real hard.
You don't think it's too late to repeal Obamacare or to I guess, fix the healthcare industry?
I don't think it's too late to dismantle it and reorganize it so it does work more proficiently and streamline it. I mean, healthcare is more about let's get it to fit what we need it to. Right now it's just a big conglomerate mess.
Mm-hmm. Should insurance companies be able to compete across state lines?
Oh, definitely. They should. And that makes it a more free market for individuals to look and shop and get good health care insurance.
Mm-hmm. Visiting with DeRenda Warren, candidate for Texas 19. A lot of folks have asked the candidates about solving the debt crisis that we have. And with Obamacare, it's expected to grow the deficit even more in the next 10 years. So how do we handle the deficit that we have in this country right now?
Well, first, like anybody, I mean, you got to know how much money you have. So every dime, every dollar has to be accounted for, and you got to know where it is and what it's doing. And then start. Hey, we're going to have to stay within a budget. I'm sorry, I've lived within a budget my whole life. With children and working, day to day, you have to stay within your means and what you're doing. And that's what our country needs to do. They expect us, the citizens of the United States, to do that. Why can't we expect our country to do that?
How do we get, and how does Congress, I guess, kind of push this forward into getting more power to the states? Because that is something that a lot of Republican voters have been concerned with. Governor Abbott has obviously talked about this, about how the states need to bring the power that the federal government has taken away from the states and bring it back home.
Well, that's just working with our states, saying, let's look at what we can give back to you guys. Hey, I want you to handle your education. Is that good for you? Is that not good for you? You got a lot of rural schools. That's kind of a touchy subject in Texas because we do have so many rural schools that depend on federal money. Hey, let's look at the health care on the Medicaid side. Can you handle that load? I mean, the states are going to have to look at what they can do and what they feel like they can handle and what we can push back down there. I mean, put back into the states' hands. I think it needs to go back to the states.
Where are you on the issue of term limits? And how long would you like, if elected, how long would you want to serve in D.C.?
Well, I've started enough new programs in the healthcare industry that I realize it takes at least a year or two just for everybody to get on the same page and get your goals going, and so everybody understands what your mission is and what you need to get accomplished. I see in Congress, I really compare it to the health. I mean, because I am healthcare, but when you talk about the politics within a hospital, Congress looks like a junior high to me. And I'm sorry to say that, but we're talking 1,200 Ben Carsons inside of an institution. These are smart, brilliant men, and to go to Congress and try to get people all together, truly it brings some new ideas and get some people thinking outside a box and try to get some things moving. I mean, that's the way I look at it. It shouldn't be an all or none gridlock all the time.
Right.
There has to be, let's talk about it. You bring your ideas, I'll bring mine, and let's move forward.
So, how long does that take, and how long would you want to serve, you think?
I think I would probably look at as long as the people of this district feel like I am up there fighting for them and making sure our cotton farmers and our oil and gas and our education and health care are taken care of, then I want to be there. I want to be there because somebody needs to be able to stay and have some, what do you want to call it? I guess stability.
Visiting with DeRenda Warren in studio. I've asked all the candidates this question. What are your thoughts on the idea of a convention of states?
Convention of states. Well, that sounds like it would be a great possibility if we could get everybody to pull together. That's that's negotiating with other states and having everybody come together at a table. Some are going to be very fearful, because they can't exist outside themselves. I mean, we're lucky, Texas, we can pretty much survive without the rest of the United States. I mean, we've got everything we need to keep rolling, but not all states, like especially up east, the small states, they would really shut down if they didn't have, the rest of us supporting them.
770-5790, toll-free, 1-800-687-0790. Well, if elected and you get to D.C., you'll be a freshman, and a lot of other members of Congress there.
Right.
How do you think you can be best effective in your first term in Washington?
Well, I think the best that I can do is go around and meet all the other 35 rural congressmen, making sure that I know them know them and understand where they're coming from, what their likes and dislikes are, what their strengths are. I mean, truly know them. And then sit down with Mike Conaway from the Midland-Odessa area and make sure that, we start presenting a united front, at least from the Texas area.
In the time that we have left, tell folks why they need to vote for DeRenda Warren. We have about a minute left, so give people that final pitch to the voters.
Final pitch.
That's
well,
right.
I eat, live, and breathe ranching and farming. I've been in healthcare for almost 35 years. I come from the number one trusted profession, nursing. I want people to know that I'm going to take West Texas values, morals, and our good work ethic to Washington, D.C., and I won't forget the people that I represent here in the district. I will be in the district, and I want to make sure they understand there's a two-way conversation at all times.
All right. DeRenda Warren, candidate for Texas 19. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Chad.